Hi, space people. So today we'll be looking into one thing for rocket production. That is, how do we do the software development? I did pull up a set of things from NASA. Okay, see the Artemis thing. But this has been a really interesting challenge. Okay, let's look into the formal, and we do have the method from yesterday. You guys remember? That is the cycle, the supplier, input, process, output, and customer. I'm going to start with the process, and then we'll see more about how to do this. Independent of, I'm thinking about that in the scope, in the purpose of this, we already know why the software is being built. That there is a rationale. So I would say the first big block for all of this is something like pick a ticket, okay? Pick something from the backlog. And this could be for a feature or just for a problem that happened. The next step would be, and I'm just pointing out big steps, okay, in here, is you pick up that, you do need to understand the problem. The problem or the need, okay, so it's two things. Pick your ticket, understand the problem. Then, and I'm placing them in a sequence, but it could iterate. Then we need to reproduce this. Does it have the same conditions that came up from the ticket in here? What can I do in here? After this, I do need to design. And it's in here, guys, it's to design the fix or the feature, okay? Very viable. And really important, after you've designed it, that we continue. And I like the left to right, and we can talk about that why. But it's really important to be able to read it, okay? And then we need to implement, okay? Implement the fix. So that's the implementation of the fix. Okay. After or even before this happens, and I'm gonna place this in here, right this well, we need to be working on a clean environment, okay? To ensure that both the test coverage, it's clean or isolated environment from the real thing. So I'm going to say ensure, and the words that I wrote in there was isolated. Okay, pretty straightforward, correct until here. And then it's time to issue the pull request, okay? That's pretty straightforward until here. I think I need to look in more at what's but regarding the pull request, what I would like you to confirm is that before you do this, before you pull something out of the existing code, you need to, what I call review, and find another person. So you need to have someone that ensures that it does review, okay? So that process is not finished until that review is complete. If this is finished, you find someone that looked into our pull request, then I would say it's quite fine. Then it's time, after we've done, think about here that the pull request is good, the review is done, then the next step, as we move this along, is what? Well, it's time to merge the pull request, okay? And it's my responsibility to ensure that the next test run or master passes that continuous integration environment, because that's what we'll do in here, okay? So I would say merge pull request. Merge, okay? If life is good, if this If this is, and if it passes that, confirm that it passes continuous integration. If all goes well, if we pass the integration, then it starts to go into the verification process, okay? Initiate verification. Okay. So until here, we should have the whole from the ticket until we've got that patch, that feature, that thing done and continuously integrated. What's important in here is that both I'm going to highlight it in both the merge and probably in the reproduce, and in here we are able to have what hardware in the loop, okay? Okay, and how is that? Well, you might have parts of the rocket assembly over there where you can test the code and the fix, so that allows you to have that combination between the hardware and the software being used. So if you want to talk about the side pod from here, that's the purpose of the video. We know that, okay, this is the process, correct? We've looked into the process part of it. We need to look into what are the inputs in here. So process, remember, we need to still have the supplier, the input, the output, and the customer. And that's all. And in here, in this column, let's just think about the first input over here. What we need a validated ticket with specifications, okay? Valid ticket with specs. And if you guys are using Jira or something else that has your tickets, make sure that you have defined the format of that, because that will influence everything coming in this direction. So very, very clear on this. I'll bring just a big box in here. The output in here, that's the fun part in here. We've got many outputs happening, of course, but this is at the end of our output. That's pretty cool to have it in there. We will have a validated fix. And the fix has a set of requirements that are, we've done the merge PR well, we've had someone to review the fine. So it does help, you know, and you start thinking about how do I know this is a validated fix. Now, the next question to be asked is, but who is the supplier process of this? And that's where I would say this is a bit more, that's why we need that top level model that we had. The supplier process to give validated tickets could be either the R&D, or it could be that from your prior launch you have some kind of mishaps, but we do need to know what's the name of the process that we have in there, okay? That's what I would like you to think about. So, name of the process in here, providing these inputs, name of the outputs in here, and who is the customer at the end of this? I would say it's launch, okay? I would say, or probably build, okay? Then we move to build rocket. Starting to have, you know, that framework. So think about this as this is the software development. Develop software, okay, or develop software. It does have this process, the R&D development that feeds with gyro tickets or some kind of specs and mishaps that comes from existing missions. It goes all the way through the loop in here with several roles. We didn't do the workflow in here, but we've got a good notion of the steps. The output is a validated fix or a feature, and at the end we can build the rocket or review. We do need to have that high level view in there, but it gives you an idea of what is the cycle over here. The requirements for the outputs would be the ones that you pick up in here that are critical. In red, I've highlighted where hardware in the loop could be placed. So I hope you enjoy it, because this was fun to look into in terms of thinking also what are the standards behind each one of them. And we haven't even touched the systems, but it gives you already an idea of what are all the process steps. And if you like the process steps, then you can, what kind of tool are you going to use to make a system that continuously integrates data? And what tools will I use for picking up ticket, for understanding the problem? All of these things still need to be figured out, but it already gives you a good understanding of how does it work. Hope you enjoy, and speak soon.